Did you know that diabetes can silently creep into your life, driven by hidden risk factors that most people, don't even know about? Millions of people are actually walking straight into diabetes, into the dangers of diabetes, danger zone, without realizing it. And the consequences can be life-changing.
Wow.
Yeah.
But here is the truth. Diabetes doesn't just happen. It's often the result of choices over a long period of time, habits, or even genetic factors that we ignore or overlook. That good news? If you know what to look out for, you can take control and prevent it.
Definitely. So you're saying that there's good news to that though, right?
Right.
In spite of all that is going on, the good news is that if you know and you can, look out for certain things that we are going to talk about, if you have time to wait and watch us throughout the show, you might actually do something that will help you. So today on the Life and Health Show, we are uncovering 5 critical risk factors for diabetes. 5 of them. 5 critical risk factors for diabetes that you cannot afford to ignore, whether it is in your diet, lifestyle, or even family history. We will show you exactly what puts you at risk and how to stay out of the danger zone. So stay with us till the end of the show and you will definitely like it. So with that being said, we will be right back. All right, so those of you on TikTok, make sure you hit the follow, like, and the rest, because we're going to have a lot of information. All right, welcome back to the show. And let's start with a quick overview of diabetes. Quick overview. What is it that we are talking about? Diabetes risk factors is exactly what we want to talk about today. These are the things that increase your likelihood of developing type 2 diabetes. We know there's type 1, but today we are focusing on the risk that can actually end up in type 2 diabetes, which is the most common form of diabetes. And trust me, many of these risk factors are preventable or even manageable. If you have them, it's not the end of the world.
Okay, so while genetics can play a role, the vast majority of diabetes cases are linked to lifestyle factors, things you can change, like diet, activity levels, and even stress management. And that's empowering because it means that you have the ability to lower your risk starting today.
Oh my goodness, you have the ability to lower your risk starting today.
Yes, so the first risk factor that we want to talk about is family history and genetics. Family history and genetics. If you have a parent or sibling with diabetes, your risk automatically goes up, right? That means that certain genetic traits can affect how your body produces and uses insulin.
Oh my goodness, how your body produces and uses insulin. Family history. But the thing is, your genes are not your destiny. Even if diabetes runs in your family, adopting a healthy lifestyle can dramatically change your risk, can reduce your risk for a lot of time. All right, so think of it this way. Genetics might load the gun, but your lifestyle is actually the one that pulls the trigger. So the fact that you have the gene for it, or your parent or your mom or your dad has diabetes, doesn't mean you have to let yourself go. You are loaded. You are a loaded gun if you have it. But to pull the trigger is your lifestyle. So with that being said, let's go to the second point, unless you have anything to say to that.
So before the second point, some of us may not have our parents around. So they may not know the family history per se. You may have a sibling who is not even sharing their health history with you. So it means that you don't know whether you have a gun that is already loaded.
Oh my goodness, you don't know if your gun is loaded.
It's loaded or not loaded. So you may not know much about your family history because some of us may not share what we are going through. So it's very imperative that you pay attention to the second point that we are going to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So you may not know much about your family history, but there are certain things that you can do that in case your gun is loaded, it's not going to trigger it. You're not going to trigger it to shoot, right?
Right.
Because you are doing all the other right things that will not make the gun go off.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I think is, even if, some people may say that, well, my parents passed away, I don't know what killed them. And for some of us, we don't even know what they had. You don't know what your mom or dad had before they passed away, or what your uncles had. It may not be your mom, maybe your dad, maybe your auntie. You don't know. And like she said, if they shared with you, fine. But what if they don't share with you? Some people also die of heart attack. We don't know what happened, what led to the heart attack, or what led to the stroke. We hear is, they died of a stroke or a heart attack. But perhaps they had long-standing diabetes, which was not managed well. And then that led to that. So you cannot depend solely on the knowledge of your family history. It's good if you know.
Right.
It's good, of course, because it makes you keep, caution. You try to take care of yourself. But like she said, if whether or not you should still make sure that you take care of some of the next things that we're going to talk about, some other risk factors that we're going to talk about.
And also sometimes the death of our parents or our relatives is made like a mystery, so like something had happened to cause the death. But where we are coming from, sometimes they make it so mysterious.
They don't even know.
So they the way that they would describe it or talk about, make it like, oh, it's because of something that happened spiritually.
They blame the spirit. Oh, come on, man. They blame the spirit instead of blaming the right thing. Of course, they don't know, so they will blame the spirit.
That's the easy way out,
yes.
Right? In order for us to investigate and try and find out reasons that happen so that we can be careful, we just blame it on something else. So because of that, we are not much aware of our family history, and because of that, we are not making the right choices. So if you don't know, it's okay. There are other things that you can do so that you protect yourself.
Right. So genes and family history is one risk factor we don't want you to forget, or in case you are joining us now. The first risk factor we discussed about getting diabetes or being in that danger zone is if your family has it. If your mom, dad, or another closer relative, your sibling, your uncle, or somebody close in blood had it, then your risk for getting diabetes is high.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have to. We have said it over and over again. Don't go crying and say that, oh my God, my mom had it, so that's my end. No, you can prevent yourself or protect yourself from getting diabetes regardless of your family history, if you are going to take some of the other things we talk about serious.
Right.
Again, it is a loaded gun, but the trigger is your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is the ultimate decision maker as to whether or not you're actually going to exhibit that genotype or that genetic trait that you have inherited from your parents or your family, for that matter. All right, so moving forward, we are going to go to the second risk factor, and that is diet and nutrition. So it is one of the biggest contributors to diabetes. Your diet, it is. Genes are there, but it is one of, especially in our days now. In the past, when food was scarce, diet wasn't blamed as much. But now, even in the poor areas or even in third world places where, we would think that they don't have food. Now, food is plenty, a lot of food available. So if you don't choose the right kinds of food, your diet can land you up in diabetes. And so this is a very huge risk that many people have. So a diet high, especially a diet high in refined carbohydrates. Now let's take examples like white flour, refined starches, refined flour. You bake the baked goods, all those flour that is sold and made up ready for you to use for all the other food things that you do.
Yeah, so like the tea breads, right?
Tea bread, right?
Tea bread,
Those
the
of you who
sugar
know
bread,
tea
the
bread,
butter bread.
Yeah.
Like
refined.
In the morning, you have it readily available. That's the refined carbs. And you get one whole ball or one whole strip. And you consume everything. It's so refined that it does affect your sugar level. So that's one thing that you have to pay attention to.
It leads to insulin resistance. And then it keeps your blood sugar levels up all the time. And over time, you become diabetic. So refined carbohydrates. There are several examples. We are not, cooks for many dishes, but if you are, if you're a person who knows much about food, you know what refined carbohydrates are used for. Sugar itself is a refined carbohydrate, right?
Yeah.
And that is the number one enemy of diabetes. Other starches, it could be potato, but if it is powdered, it's been refined, it's been mixed together to, take out all the husk, and it's just a pure powder. It is refined. Anything that has been put through some kind of a mill, cleaned up, perfumed rice, for instance, you say those are better rice. Well, it is refined. All the good stuff, the fiber has been removed from it. So refined carbohydrates, no matter what form they come, whether it's a flour or in a rice or in potato starches or any other starch, you are going to increase your insulin resistance and then lead to blood sugar levels that are already going to lead to diabetes. So that's a huge risk factor from diet.
But the good news is that making small changes can have a huge impact. You focus on whole foods, just grabbing the white processed carbohydrates. You go for what? Foods like vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins. Instead of going for the white carbohydrates, just that's the empty carbohydrates. You go for vegetables. Sometimes we are not brought up with it, so we are all learning to add it to our diet. So you go for vegetables, any form and however you want to make it more appealing for you to eat is what we are saying that you should go for. You go for the whole grains instead of the polished ones. You go for the whole grains, like the quinoa that we are talking about. Quinoa.
Yes. Somebody was saying that. What is that? We have shown several pictures of quinoa.
Right. Yeah. So you go for the unpolished rice, So anything that is not like the refined form or the processed form, you go for the whole form of it. That definitely help. And you go for the lean proteins, instead of going for the fatty foods, the fatty proteins, the oily proteins, you go for the leans. Chicken, fish is always an alternative. The healthy
chicken
fats.
Without the skin, right?
Yeah. You go for the healthy and the lean ones. And you also go for the healthy fats, like the olive oils,
olive oil,
the
oil, nuts,
almonds and all that.
Pistachios.
Yeah, so you always choose such foods. I'm sure that if you are a fan of our program here, you keep hearing us saying those kinds of foods. So don't forget also portion control. It's not just what you eat, but how much you eat. How much you consume is also very important. So if you don't control your portion size and if you don't pick the right kinds of foods, then you are in for diabetes, which we are encouraging you to try as much as possible to stay away from.
Definitely. And the portion control is one of the major things that people in our community struggle to do. Somebody will give you a dumpling, or as Jamaicans will call it, a dumpling, huge dumpling, or 2 balls of dumpling, whether it's swallow, or fufu, or whatever name you could call it, or potato, huge. And then all you add to it is a little bit of a protein with the soup. So the basic, the main theme, if I should say, of the meal is the starch. You don't want to do that. You want the main thing to be the leaves,
and the
broccoli or the meat, and then the starch becomes just a little bit to give you energy. And you can get energy from all those sources too, but if you can't do away without your rice, then you cut down. Some people eat all those good stuff, but they add too much of the starches. So yeah, they are eating the healthy oils, all right, but they are dumpling the starch, the rice, the yam, the potato, the yuca. That is overpowering everything, and that is where the problem with diabetes start to show up. So cut back on the starches, and if you need to use anything, that is starchy, reach out for something better. Like you can swap your rice for what we call the quinoa or quinoa. I like to say quinoa, but I've been corrected. I should be quinoa. Or choose water instead of sugary drinks, like soda or mineral. There's nothing good about drinking sugary drink. When you are grown, you are 30, you're 40, leave those things for little kids that you cannot convince. Little kids, you can't tell them, hey, don't drink juice. Sometimes it's even good to prevent them from drinking. So if you are an adult and you have that sweet tongue to the extent that you drink Coke with meal, oh, come on. I can't even imagine drinking sugar on top of your rice or drinking sugar on top of your whatever food you're eating. That is diabetes in the making right there. And especially if you have the risk factors, some of the risk factors that we are continuing to mention, then you're basically going to get there fast. But if you intentionally swap those drinks for water, some people can drink water, so you do seltzer water or chilled water or any other form of drink that carbonated water, any drink that doesn't have the sugar added, that will become your friend because you are eating healthy, So
yeah, and also to add to what you were saying about the size of the carbohydrates, sometimes you feel like that is more filling. You want to eat a bigger portion, so that you fill up, so that you feel full. So you sit down and you eat a bigger size of the carbohydrate part. You feel more filled up in your mind. But you have to remember that those do not give you the most essential minerals, essential things that you need for your cells and for your muscles and all that. Those are just to fill your stomach. So we call them empty carbohydrates. They don't have the nutrients as much as the protein and the vegetables and the good healthy fats.
Avocados.
So those have the essentials that your cells and your body you need. So you tend to eat to feed your body, not to fill you up. So if you have that mentality switch around, maybe it will help you control the portion size of the carbohydrates.
My goodness, like that. Maybe it will let you control the portion sizes. Switch that around, switch that mindset. You don't need to be filled up, You don't need to be full. You don't need to be full. Some people, when they eat, they want to feel the tenderness. They want to feel their stomach protruding. Oh, come on, man. My goodness. You can do that if you want to avoid several diseases. In fact, not just diabetes, but several other diseases. Eat light and keep going. And if you're hungry again, eat another light thing. And then eat the healthy stuff. And the other thing is, some people even think that when they eat the starches, they are full. But starch, as you said, because they are empty calories, when you eat, immediately you'll be full. But 2 hours later, you're hungry.
Hungry again.
Because there was no fiber in there to keep it sitting in your belly for a little longer. All of it get digested and dumped into your blood.
And that spikes your
blood sugar.
Right?
And then right after that, your sugar drops and then you're hungry again. So those are not good sources of something that will fill you. If you want to be filled and filled well, eat a bowl of salad, with a healthy chicken thigh, maybe grilled chicken thigh on top.
A little olive oil
olive oil and some pieces of avocado cut on top. Oh, come on, man.
Little peanuts and almond nuts
also sprinkled on it. When you finish that bowl, you drink your water. If you have to eat even a small handful of rice on top, after you've done this salad, see how long you're going to last without being hungry. And you won't be like tired because you are full. You are okay. You feel like you're not hungry. And yet you are fine. You are light. You can carry yourself well. You don't feel sleepy. Some people, after they eat their huge dumpling or swallow, they begin to fall asleep. Right? And it's for a reason. Because you have given your body too much to carry. So your body is tired. They need energy to digest. So you have to fall asleep so that energy can be channeled to digestion.
Wow. That's why you fall asleep.
That's why you fall asleep. You need the energy to burn that, to digest, absorb, and then throw it in the system. But if it was light, you have some energy still going while your digestion is going on. So you definitely need to watch your portion sizes. It's killing a lot of people. Watch your portion sizes, along with eating the right stuff. All right, so I think we can go to the next risk factor, right?
Yeah, so the third one is sedentary lifestyle.
Sedentary lifestyle for you. Come on, man. Ooh. Sedentary lifestyle.
So sedentary lifestyle is another major risk factor that we want to talk about, right? So sitting for long hours, whether at work or in front of the TV, slows down your metabolism and increase your insulin resistance.
My goodness. Sedentary life, we have said it over and over again on this channel. The key here is movement. Move around. Don't be stuck in one spot all day. Even if it's at work, you don't need to hit the gym for hours. No, that's not what we're saying. But simple activities like walking, even after your meals, stretching, doing some light exercises at home can lower your blood sugar and improve your insulin sensitivity. Exercise does that. And the caveat here I want to throw in is that some people also say that, as for me, the work that I do, I'm always moving. At my job, we are moving, we are carrying stuff, we are running, so I don't need to exercise. No, you need exercise. Come on, man. Yes, you do need exercise. You do need exercise. What you need to do is to have your regularly scheduled exercises done, like 30 to 45 minutes a day. If you can't do it every day, we have told you that as long as you hit about 160 hours per week, you are in good shape. So maybe every other day, 45 minutes or 30 minutes every other day. You keep that on schedule and you do it every week. And then on top of that, at your work, if you are in a place where you sit at the office table, the office desk, and you sit there for 8 hours, you have to make it a point to stand up and walk at some point in the day. You cannot say that, I did my exercise in the morning for 45 minutes. I'm done for the day. Yes, you did good. I must commend you. You did really good. But that's not the end. Don't sit down after that for 4 straight hours without standing and moving. Get up and walk around a little bit. Go say hi to the next person in the next cubicle, or walk outside and take a short walk. Even just apart from your lunchtime, even grab an apple, go on a stroll while you chew it, come back to your desk and do it. It refreshes you. Apart from the fact that you are giving yourself the activity and burning calories, it also refreshes your mind to even be more productive at work. So yes, do your regularly scheduled exercise, but on top of that, make sure that you're moving throughout the day. Not just one spot and because you did your exercise. The sad thing is some people don't even have the exercise, let alone
moving around during the day.
But yeah, we got to learn to do that. You have anything to add to that?
Nothing wicked.
All right. So with that being said, we're going to go on to the next one, the next risk factor. So the next risk factor is risk factor number 4, which is chronic stress and sleep deprivation. This risk factor also leads to diabetes, so you got to be very careful about that. Now, sleep and lack of sleep is a silent saboteur to your blood sugar. It is dangerously increasing your blood sugars as well as chronic stress. It raises what we call the cortisol levels. Cortisol, we discussed this earlier on some years ago on this channel. Cortisol levels, or a hormone that spikes your blood sugar levels. Cortisol goes up if you are chronically stressed or if you are not getting enough sleep. 6 to 8 hours of sleep, which can interfere with insulin and also lead to high blood sugar levels. So you don't want to be in chronic stress or in chronic sleep deprivation.
So sleep deprivation is just as dangerous like the other bad diets and all that. So you don't want to deprive yourself from sleep, right? So poor sleep affects your hormones, like you mentioned, the cortisol, right? Making you crave sugary and high carb foods while reducing your body's ability to regulate blood sugar. So it's two sides, right? Not only does it make you crave for bad foods, it also make your body inability not able to regulate the blood sugar.
My goodness.
So sleep is very important.
That's really dangerous. So it's making you crave for bad foods, and then also prevents you from digesting and doing the right things that your body has to do, especially regulating your sugar levels. So poor sleep is just as bad, as she said, as eating bad, or even having family history. So don't say that's for my family, there's nobody with diabetes, so I'm good. Well, how much are you sleeping? How much are you sleeping? Because that can end up. And the sad thing is, apart from that, you also get other issues like hypertension. If your sleep is not good, or if you are stressed all the time, you are going to be thrown also into hypertension. So you got hypertension going and diabetes going, just because of one thing that you're not doing right, because you're not sleeping right and you are stressed all the time. That is definitely not something that you want to be involved in.
So like good sleep, good night sleep, quality sleep, help you build or create new cells, get rid of the old cells. Like a lot of good things happen when you have, when you have a good night's sleep. So don't take it like, some people say it this way, like, I'll sleep when I die. I don't have time to sleep.
Come on, man. Then nobody should sleep, because that's a long sleep.
No, that one you are forced to sleep because you're tired. But consciously, you just say that I'm not going to rest because it's a waste of my time. It's the way life is too fast, I just want to keep going. Because I have some people saying that they have 3 jobs, the night that they are supposed to sleep and get vitalized, like you're saying, build new cells, get refreshed and keep going, they will pick another shift, the night shift, and go to the night shifts. And they come back, they go to the days, and they just want to keep making money. What are you doing to yourself?
They end up even dying without enjoying the money.
So what's the point?
What's the point?
So you have to make sure that you take sleep as serious as eating right. You just don't want to let go because you want to make money and you want to let yourself go.
My goodness. So how do we take care of stress? Use stress managing techniques like meditation, exercise, which we already mentioned, or even deep breathing. There are proven ways that help, and also yoga. Some people also like yoga. Yoga has several studies that also show the benefits of yoga, to reduce your stress levels and potentially help you regulate your blood sugar levels. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Even if you get 6 to 8, it's better than 3, 4, or 5. And we're not saying that it's going to be like that all the time. We know that sometimes situations do happen. Once a while you can sleep 4 hours, but we are talking about having a pattern of sleepless nights. Like every day you sleep 4 hours, every day you sleep 5 hours. That is where it's bad. But if for one reason or the other you have a newborn who will cry every night and you can't sleep, you got to deal with a newborn, and you may lose sleep for a little bit, but it doesn't last forever. Or you have a temporary situation, like in a job they need you to help out for a few days because of the Christmas holidays, for example, and you do it, it's okay. Pick up a few shifts, to make up, certain things in the holidays, it's okay. But you return right back to the normal sleep patterns. So we are not trying to make the thing so hard. We understand how life is. We are also here, and we know how sometimes you have to do certain things. But some people have completely made it like, as for me, I'm here to make the money. I got to go. They are always running. That is where it is not good.
And sometimes too, if you do not have enough sleep during the week, sometimes you can catch up on sleep during the weekend. You can sleep in just a little bit, just to get that refreshment. Because even if you pay attention to your body, you realize that if you don't sleep well, you don't function as well. You are not of yourself because of that lack of sleep. So if you are not able, you can always catch up a little bit in order to stay refreshed and keep moving.
Definitely.
So the 5th one that we want to talk about, right?
That's the last one, right?
That's the last one. We're talking about 5. Okay, so the last one is obesity and insulin resistance. So if you carry excess weight, especially around your abdomen, significantly increase your risk of diabetes by promoting insulin resistance. So around your abdomen,
Your waist area.
to put in simple terms, right? If you have excess weight, your chance of getting insulin resistance is very high. So this is something that you have to pay attention to.
Definitely. And insulin resistance essentially leads to diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So it's the beginnings of type 2 diabetes. And so you want to make sure that you lose abdominal fat or you don't gain weight around the belly. That is why exercise is good. If you are regularly exercising, you'll be burning more of the energy that you intake. So they won't have the chance to store up over there. If you're also eating the right things, you most likely will not have enough to even store as fat around the waist. So all those things come together into this risk factor right here. Of course, if you have the genes to make excess fat around your waist, it is there. But your lifestyle again would potentially prevent you from showing that gene. So yes, don't say that's for me. My family, everybody is big. So no matter what I do, I'm still going to be big. And I hear some funny stuff. People say that we got big bones in my family. Come on, man. We got big bones, right? So because of the big bones, they give up on trying to do anything about the weight. Excess weight or obesity is a risk factor for diabetes, type 2 diabetes. And as a matter of fact, for hypertension, also for heart disease, it's for a risk factor for stroke, all of them. And so don't just take any excuse and run with it. Do the things that you got to do. If you follow us on this channel, we have a lot of things that we share about what you can do in terms of what you can eat and the lifestyle that you want to do to ensure that you don't pack up the weight around your waist. You don't have to do that. It's in your family. Be the exception. You can break the cycle. We talk about breaking the cycle of poverty, breaking the curses of families that we are in. Break that cycle of obesity. Come on, man, you can break it. You can break it by eating the right things and doing all those things that we think will help you. So, insulin resistance from obesity is something. And the other thing, I don't know if you want to talk about is with the weight. If you lose weight, if you are able to keep your weight down, if you lose 5 to 10% of your body weight, you can improve your insulin sensitivity or your blood sugar levels. Huge. Just by losing 5 to 10% of your weight. That's the studies are showing it. And also studies also show that if you lose about 10 points of weight, you are going to decrease your blood pressure by 5 points. So you are struggling with blood pressure, medications are helping, but you could still use some help. Lose that 10 pounds, lose 20 pounds, and see that the pressure will also go down some. So it is a win-win situation. Come on, I like that. Weight loss is a win-win situation. So it is better for somebody to tell you that, you lost weight. As long as you are not sick, it's always a good thing. Tell them thank you. But some places when somebody tells you you lost weight, people begin to be like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Am I struggling in life?
You're
stressed. It's not always like that. Going through something bad.
Yeah, so like with the 10%, right? If you weigh, let's say 150 pounds or 160 pounds or 200 pounds, let's say 200 pounds, right? And you're trying to lose weight. If you lose 10%, it means like what? 20 pounds.
From 200, yes.
From 200 to 20 pounds. And if you do that, your insulin sensitivity
goes up.
Is increased, it's improved, it's better, and your risk is lowered. So we are in a new end of the year, right? A new year is about to start. And I'm sure that we have our New Year's resolution coming up. So if you are aiming 10% of your weight and you weigh 180, 200, so you pick like 20 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds end of the year. So you target that, 12 months in a year. So how many pounds am I going to lose in a month? How many pounds am I going to lose in a week? So if you have something to look forward to, and it's not that you are doing it to impress anybody, you are not doing it because it's the order of the day. You are doing it because you want to be healthy.
My goodness, like that. Impressed.
Yeah, you are doing it because you want to get better, because you are aging. I think we forget one risk factor. Age can also be a risk factor.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Yes. So as you
40
grow,
years and
as
over.
you age, it's likely that your chance of getting diabetes is also increased. So because you are not getting younger, you are getting older. You just want to pay attention to your health. So you go for what is right. Sometimes after hearing it over and over and over, you tend to be tired of it. Oh, come on, you guys, you keep saying the same
thing over
and over. We keep saying that swap your water, your sugary food drinks
for water,
your sugary snacks for fruits and water. We keep saying that over and over.
Reduce the size of your swallow or your fufu
and
or
your
your dumpling.
Stuff like that. Those are the little things that you can do. That is the manageable things. You can say that I'm growing and I refuse to grow. The number is adding up. I'm sure that it keep increasing. People are hitting 50 and hitting 60 and all that. You can't control that one. And if you have family history or you have the genes that predispose you from getting diabetes, you can't control that. But what can you control? You can control the portion of your food, the size of your food, the kinds of foods that you eat. So please don't get tired of us. We are going to keep saying it, and that also serves as a check on us. So we are making the right choices. So we want you to take this journey with us. And I'm sure you will never, ever regret.
My goodness, you will never regret. You will never regret. Yes. And so that brings me to my brother called me from London and said, brother, you lost weight. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah. We got some fasting going now, Christmas, end of year programs and stuff here. So, but I'm happy that you didn't say I gained weight, because I want to be a model for people who look and watch us for inspiration. It's not that hard. This little thing that I do, and I lost a little bit, even though I'm already skinny, it means that if you are really huge and you want to lose, you can easily lose it. But some people don't want to take any chance. Of course, everybody's different. Some genes, you have to hit it hard before that pounds, that weight drops off. We understand that. But like she said, don't give up, because it is the only thing that's going to make a difference. If you give up on yourself, I don't know what else you can do in this life. You got to be for yourself and for your children if you have children. Some people are getting diabetes as early as 30, 40, and especially as we mentioned that it wasn't part of our list, but it's another risk factor with age. Age 40, you are high hitting that risk factor for diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So if you can do anything to lose weight, so much the better. And we already said, swap those sugary snacks. Don't eat those donuts. I'm sure on the other show, don't eat those donuts. Get something multi-grain, something that has a lot of fiber that will, not be all completely absorbed. Reduce those portion sizes. That is where you will be making the headway for preventing diabetes from happening to you. So diabetes doesn't have to be your future. By understanding these critical factors and taking action, you can protect your health and stay out of this diabetes danger zone. I don't know about you, but what else do you have to say?
Yes, so take the first step today, whether it's adjusting your diet, moving more, or managing your stress. Small changes lead to big results, and you are in control.
My goodness, small changes. I like that. Small changes will lead to big results. Small changes. We don't want you to
make it big.
To make it so big. And I know sometimes when you do it so big, you can't even sustain it. But to be able to do it, start small. Just be, intentional. Just be focused. Just don't stop. It may be just cutting the half of that starchy food from your plate from today. Whatever food it is called, rice, fufu, dumpling, yam, yuca, cassava, plantain, whatever it is, potato, just start from cutting into even taking a quarter off, then you increase to a half off, until you get it so small that you have replaced all those starchy foods with greens, broccoli, and all those good stuff, celery, what's the other one? All those greens, spinach, kale, use those things to replace those starchy foods. And slowly but surely, if you keep at it, before you know, you have become so changed. You begin to have good skin, healthy skin. People will look at you differently. So what did you do? You tell them that, oh, I'm doing something that Dr. Oteng showed me on their life. And it will help. All right. So
we have comments.
All right. So yeah, we got a couple of comments we put on here on this side. It says, oh, our lady, our sister says, doctors, very good evening, doctors. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It says, refuse to grow, right? Definitely refuse to grow. Yes. Her comment is saying that refuse to grow. Refuse to grow. Like Caleb in the Bible, he refused to grow because he wanted to inherit that promise that was promised him. You know, after he came back, he was promised after being a spy, and he came and gave all those good news, to the leaders of Israel. They promised him huge inheritance. That guy said, "I'm not going to go anywhere until I get it." So he became younger and younger and younger until they gave him his inheritance. So yes, refuse to grow. Don't let any diabetes or any heart disease or any stroke or any other disease for that matter put you down before your time.
So the numbers may increase, all right, but because you can't control the numbers, right? But you refuse to grow in appearance.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
But the numbers you can control.
The number is a number. That's what we say. Age is just a number, right? Right. Age is just a number. But your physique, if we look at you, can we tell how old you are? If somebody can give you a higher age, then there's more to do. Start eating the greens and let your skin color and your skin tone and the way you carry yourself, your belly begin to shrink, and your physique, your activity level begin to increase. If this episode actually opened your eyes, I want you to give us a thumbs up. Those who are watching on YouTube, and I think we have another comment from our dear sister. It says, yes, small changes, oh my goodness, will lead to major lifestyle changes. I agree 100%. I agree. I like what you said. It's one of the most important points we should drive home today. Small changes, because people think that they got to do everything in one day and then they fail. Small changes is what you need. All right. So if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to also subscribe, hit the like button, and share the video with your friends and family, somebody who may enjoy or benefit from this show. And I think that's where we you have anything to say?
And remember, your health is in your hands. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time on the Life and Health Show.
God bless you. Thank you again. Come on, man. Thank you.